All right, I'm going live right now. We're live, and I've taken over the Garden of Eater studio. If I don't get 5 Galaxy Pinto Jelly Bean Super Freak shrimp by tomorrow in unmarked shrimp, I will drain all these tanks to the ground. That is all. Oh, I couldn't even duck out of frame right. How's everybody doing? So, I hope everybody's doing well. I'm set up right now on their system. So let's see how the quality of this is before I go home and I get to yell at my internet provider again for all the problems we've had. Why does this say tomorrow? It's probably because it's close to midnight, and I bet I maybe did the wrong time. Whatever. What's started now, and we're going now. And Grant will be here shortly. Shelby is feeding, I believe, cleaning, feeding, water changing, emergency water changing her Turkish delights. She's got some Turkish killifish, and I got they're very shy, but I got one of them on paper on film, so to speak. So you guys will be seeing that. Yeah, it was the time zone thing causing problems, I think. But we're here now, guys. So how's it going? Zen Ginger, Nano Aquarium Guy, Nate the Shrimp Nut, Sage P. Lindsay, Daniel White, Mick, what's up, man? Who else is in here? Sky Dancer, hey, how are you doing? Xanadu, Corin Julian Works, what's up? Who else is in here? And if you hear pterodactyl noises, it's their dog. It's deaf, and yeah.
He was quiet for my giving you the special treat.
It's because I'm talking louder, I think, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so we've had some. Oh, Crypt Keeper, what's up? How's it going? And we'll see who else pops in here. I am curious at this time and everything. Richard, what's up? Dee Dee, hello. Sketty Nonya. The Yeti, what's up? Good to see you. Elizabeth, hey, what's up? And Chris, hello. SC Katahua, hello. Delilah, hope you're doing well. Hey, GRB from Down Under, what's up, mate? The 186 Element from Canada, right? GK Aquatics, yo, Jeff Kane, what's up? How we doing? So, because I've missed so many live streams with this, and then I'm getting ready to go to Chicago in like a week and a half or whatever, and then I'm going to Oregon and Seattle in between those multiple times, obviously, and then I'm going to Ohio, and maybe now Buffalo might be in the works. So I love traveling. If you have a local fish club and you want to hear talk on history or genetics, I've got a number of them. Hit me up. I can send you a list of what I have ready. Also, I have talking about fish that aren't thought of as domesticated early on. And so that was a talk that I was thinking about doing for the club down here, which is talking about how Europeans, for instance, had domesticated carp early on in the Roman era, in the Greek era. Eels were domesticated to a certain extent. So I have these stories, and a lot of research has come out this summer in particular that's really filled in a lot of the blanks on what we've kind of wondered about genetics. Like, genetic testing is getting so affordable that both with shrimp and with other fish, we're able to now for sure say if a story was true when someone in Japan says, in 1908, Earl Lockhart from Austria, from a Franciscan monk like retreat or whatever you call them, monastery, I guess.
Yeah.
Since they had the mirror carp that don't have scales other than the beautiful like metallic ones, and then leather carp which have no scales, that is what was said to have been crossed with koi to make the Doitsu koi. And now they've confirmed that. And they could also see through the DNA on the maternal side, the matrilineal DNA of the mitochondrial DNA, that they could actually look at that and say, oh, it's about 18 generations, which is, about 110 years ago in like the prime breeding age for koi or whatever. So it's kind of cool when they get to confirm that. So hopefully we'll have Grant and Shelby can pop in a sec here too. But I just want to say hi to everybody. So feel free if you guys want to slide in. They're kind of handling a bit of an issue as well. But how, Shelby? Oh, are we going spelunking? Are you going out to the blue holes tonight?
Yes,
okay, yeah.
Gotta go.
Oh, they're coming for you. Lady Diane, hello. Lonnie, what's up? Liquid Zoo, what's up, man? Regina, good to see you. Always a pleasure. And so Grant,
What's up, man?
what's up? So if people weren't watching before on Grant's stream, should have been. I'm coming for your kneecaps, y'all. This is Grant, and that was Shelby, and I'm at their house because Grant and his club invited me to Florida. That's why I'm in Florida. But beyond that, I've literally been filming some days 18 hours of different content-related stuff, and I'm so excited to edit it. Just kidding. I don't want to do that. But I have like so many cool things filmed, so much B-roll for future videos talking about like aquascaping and like there'll be a video coming out about layers of deposition and how like when you make an aquascape or just when you want your tank to look nice, you need to think about which plants grow fastest, which grow on top of which, and that will just lend itself to making the tank look really beautiful in a really natural way. So, if you have a log or hardscape, what's going to come in first, like lichen or a moss, then maybe like a pennywort or something, maybe then some hair grass at the base where debris built up. So thinking of those things and looking at nature for inspiration is a lot of what I'm also seeing this trip. But honestly, I think now today I'm at about 22 species caught total.
Nice.
And since I've been down here, and then there's diversity within that. Plus, also I've toured your place. We're still going to get more stuff done. But I mean, he has 300 plus tanks, and some of them are 300 gallons almost, the 275
so the
totes.
ponds outside, those aren't counted in the 300 tanks. So if we're counting everything, it'd be 357.
It's insane. And they're big. I mean, two of those, like 3 of those totes is more than I have in my entire house, like water-wise, gallon-wise. Yeah. So, I mean, I basically have that rack, and actually more like this is my whole house.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in any case, it's really cool to be here. And let's see here. Curran Jillian says, hey, Alex, you have Patreon and you have YouTube community for subscription support. But is there anywhere for channel goals we can donate towards specifically, like your recent camera purchase? That's a really good question. We did a fundraiser for the AGA. I mean, I didn't plan it. But Alan Bauer, who's been a viewer of this channel for over 5 years, since it was like me and 50 other people, basically. And he wanted me to come with him, essentially. And so he was like, help raise money for Alex to do that. Because you guys know I have a lot of health issues, but I'm just in the process of getting the implants done from the teeth, had the spine surgery. So it's all this big, long work in progress. But every time I save up $1,000, it's like, boom, I have another, literally like that. That's my medication, $1,600 a month with insurance. So it is very appreciated. I don't have like a fund dedicated to that or a GoFundMe. I just don't really like begging in that sense. But there have been incredibly generous people like Brian Levy, who's down here, who I'm only like an hour and a half away from. I really want to see him, by the way. It's just like there isn't enough time in the day, basically, because there's so many people out here that I want to see that have messaged me. Or like, I mean, people down even in like Miami, I was like, in my head, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll have time. We'll meet up. We'll do lunch. And then
it's an 8-hour drive total round trip.
Yeah, I know. And I knew that part. But in my head, I was like, I could get that done in like a day and then come back the next day or whatever. I got 5 days, and then just boom, 5 days are gone. And between my wife's friends and my friends, because my wife grew up from age 17 to like 30, she lived here, just south of here, about 30 minutes. So yeah, but I don't really have anything other than PayPal and the other one. I mean, I have like a Google Pay, and I also have Venmo. So there's those in theory, but I haven't really done like benchmarks of like, hey, if we save up, I'll get this. But I do want to get a GoPro. And so, I mean, when I get super chats and things, some of that just goes towards maintenance. But honestly, a lot of that just whatever I can save of that, I've been putting towards gear. And traditionally, I donate all my merch money to charity off Teespring. And I pick a different charity every few months and then donate like the $40 or whatever sitting in there. But I probably will coming up, like save that aside until I get a GoPro or something like that. I'll probably buy a used one, but nevertheless, yeah, there's some things that I really do need to stock up on, microscope slides, things like that. And so it's something to think about. I don't know exactly how to set that up. I might do one of those Amazon wish list things. Maybe that's a way to do it, because I want people to know that like if they donate money, it goes towards the channel. I mean, I do take some now because I'm trying to make a living off of it, but I'm still not making a living off it. I've still been working about another 30 or 40 hours a week doing graphic design or some other random task. And I would love to just have it all focused on the channel. It would make it so like don't have to be late to a stream because I'm on the phone with someone else or running over doing some other thing on the side. So it's all stuff to think about. But while I'm here, let's not talk about logistics. I'm already on a tangent. Let's talk with Grant, and let's talk with you guys in chat. So
one of the things I didn't realize is you're like, yeah, AGA is like a week and a half. I'm like, it can't be that soon. It's 16 days away.
Okay, yeah. Two
So,
weeks away.
Like technically 17 days away from the first start day or setup day because we do get there the day early. But I like
See,
checked up.
I'll be
like,
there early.
When do we leave? And I leave 16. We leave 16 days from now. So yeah, we're making that a family trip.
It's busy.
Yeah.
Because I'm going like 4 days early because I'm going collecting out there, and then I'm also doing a couple other things out there too, which is more content. So, I mean, this winter, I should have a ton of videos coming out. They're just all going to be from this week and a week in the future. But, yeah, let's see here. I think you deserve a new Microsoma's microscope, and they're absolutely throwing an extra $5 for the time to time, but I can't afford to get the whole thing. Oh, yeah, that's awesome. I mean, yeah, I would. That is another thing that I'd like to do is get better quality microscope gear, get better quality. I mean, there's endless things in my head that I dream of doing on the channel, but information and what fascinates me and people and that stuff right now, traveling and kind of talking has been the focus, because I'm hoping through that the channel grows. I network, I meet more amazing people, learn more things from them. And like being here with Grant, you have how many lines of shrimp probably?
Over 130 right now.
Over 130. And I mean, they've got an entire bay right here, and you guys will see it in the tour, but of just Sulawesi or in hard water stuff. It's really incredible. Craig, what's going on? Good to see you.
I'm happy those are breeding enough that the numbers are coming out.
Yeah.
Because when Jason was here, he's like, "Oh, I really like those ones," and like none of them came out. Like there was like one of each of the like herds that are out for you.
Yeah.
On each one of the rocks. I'm like, I swear there's more in there, man. And he's like, okay.
I mean, so I have a question for you, Grant. While I got you, is there a shrimp that you've had that you just can't keep, that you're just like, it dies every time I give up?
The Harlequin Sulawesi.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like there's nobody breeding those in the United States right now.
No.
There's very few people
damn
breeding
Germans
them in Europe.
Yeah.
The problem is like they're all wild caught, and there is somebody breeding them over in Europe, but nobody the price of European imports is so high that nobody really does that for shrimp.
No.
So the only Sulawesi shrimp that are brought in are wild caught, and the harlequins, half of them die on the shipment from overseas over here, then half of them die in the tank the next day, and then half of those die, every day for the next few days.
Yeah.
And then half of them die in shipping, and they just wither away in your tank. And they're not cheap, so it's like
No.
if you wanted to buy 100 of them, that'd be like the only way to really get it worth it.
Yeah.
And at that point, that's a heavy investment.
You're like 10 grand in, even wholesale.
You'll be lucky at the end of it if you have 10 of them and to get them to breed.
Yeah.
I've had a buried one, but at the same, we never saw babies or anything like that.
Yeah.
They're just so sensitive.
The Babaltis were like that for me. The green Babaltis, I had to try 3 times, and then I finally got them to work. And then we had this crazy hot day, and just the whole thing crashed. And it was just like, it frustrated me so much that I just haven't done it again.
So somebody on my last stream asked me when am I going to get a hold of some of your Blue Dream Malala shrimp.
Oh yeah.
Do you call them Blue Dream Malala? Or
No,
blue?
they're blue.
I was like, I hope we didn't do that.
No.
Luckily.
No, they're not blue. I haven't called them Blue Dream. I've just called them the blue morph. And they're not that true. Like they'll throw really weird colors still, and they're a color changing shrimp like ninja shrimp.
Yeah.
So if they're in a scared mood, they go clear. But when you just leave them alone and you come and like watch them feed, they'll be like, I mean, a beautiful blue like your hat. They look like sapphires.
Were they part of the tank that got hit?
When all those ones died.
Yeah.
That wasn't the blue tank,
Okay.
but that was the parent, like master breeding tank. Because I have one tank that I've had set up for 7 years that died, that tank. And when it crashed, there were over 350 in a 20-gallon tank.
Right.
And like, with fish, I don't know why that tank always did so well, but something about that tank was just dialed in for them, or they had been bred in that long enough that, yeah. And oh yeah, Sketty Nona has the blue morph. They breed quickly, and the thing is, you need to cull them still, and that's the thing I told people is like the few that I did sell actually to raise money for AGA and for this trip, and basically I just knew trips were going to be coming up, so I was like, I need to set money aside to even afford it, and yeah, there's a lot of weird colors that come out of those, the Malua, and they're an interesting one because they're probably the easiest shrimp to keep that I've ever kept in my water.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, they're the Neocaridina version of Sulawesi shrimp. Like, they don't need the higher temperature. They don't need the harder water.
Yeah.
They can definitely thrive and take shipping a little bit easier as well, for sure.
Yeah, they're not from the lakes like the other ones are that are like kind of the same all year round. They live in the creeks that get flooded, and so
that makes sense.
Since they're a creek species, yeah. Now, one thing that like Grant and I have been talking about doing forever is the idea of he shows me what he's worked with from like a semi-wild or one of the early like crystal reds, for instance, and then he shows me all the color morphs and shows me some of the fancier ones he's come up with, and then I know the Latin names, so if we can figure out that starting point, then we can literally map out like where these fancy ones are from, technically speaking, and which ones are crossing with which, because that's also been a lot of, it's been really hard to find out until the DNA's gotten done, and it's getting done now by Asian researchers, mostly out of China and Taiwan, but they're paying that high dollar to find out what is it that is crossing with what, like cheetah shrimp. What are they? It turns out that it looks like most of them are serrata shrimp. So it's kind of interesting because that's the same as tangerine tigers. Now, who else just snuck in here? Only Oscars. What's going on? Hope you're doing well. And Florida Fish Rescue, I see you as well. Oh, and mountaintop pufferfish. Hello, hello, hello. So, yeah. Hey, redfish, bluefish. Jason, what's up, brother? Good to see you, man. So, you just missed Grant. He was here a second ago. You would be blown away by this place. I know that this is all in a computer, but yeah, it's nuts. There's 100 tanks behind me alone, and then there's what 30 or 16 over here. There's like 30 here. There's like 40. I mean, and then they have an entire backyard the size of like a tennis court or more that has IBC totes, the like 275, almost 300-gallon totes that are like the size of a shipping pallet, squared, full of shrimp. They just have shrimp everywhere, and it's just mind blowing. Like, I feel like if you put it all out, like in the driveway, I mean, it wouldn't fit in the driveway, but I mean, if you put it all in a basketball court or a tennis court, like it would look insane.
Yeah.
Like how you guys have stacked it in here, and then the fact that you are still going out there and like culling things and keeping track, it's insane. That, and by the way, nature's trying to destroy everything you do in Florida all the time, whether it's like hurricanes, rain, lightning, thunder, or heat, or frogs with parasites, or lizards that die in your tub, or whatever it may be. Cranes that are as tall as 10-year-old children. I mean, yeah, these cranes were hunting Grant, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I haven't researched what they eat or anything, but I'm pretty sure it's Grant.
It's actually 2% Mustang paint.
2% Mustang paint. Yeah. Wow. So how you figure?
I had a buddy, and he absolutely hates the cranes because he came out one day and they did like a $2,000 scratch job on the paint, and it was pecking it because they saw the reflection. So
they were mad.
They were challenging it to dominance. So,
I was like, is that because of like?
Did you see Shelby's crane kick?
Is that what that was? I was like, what are you doing over there? Are you mad at something? What's happening? Shelby just did a really like unenthusiastic ninja kick.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what's up, Patrick? Dragon Lair, good to see you, man. I wish we were a little closer. I'd come visit you. Does New Orleans have a fish club? Because I want to go there. Like,
there's got to be something there, because I know that
Yeah.
they do the Fish Fest or something like
Fish
that.
Fester?
No.
I don't want to see Fish Fester.
Man, it was whatever the very first event of the year was. It's in
Oh, okay.
January.
In the Superdome. No, I think is that gone now? It might be gone
I
now.
don't think it is.
Or maybe they fixed it up.
I think so.
They might have changed the name.
I went to it after Katrina.
Yeah, yes.
Definitely fixed up.
Oh, you went like in there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I drove by it like right after Katrina, and I was like, "Phew, that's messed up." But so the whole city was. So.
When I was 15, after like 2 years after Katrina, we went to go see the Sugar Bowl. It was Hawaii versus Georgia. And it was the first year that Hawaii went undefeated the whole season.
Right, I
And
remember
then they
that
got
year.
slaughtered like 84-0 against Georgia.
That's funny. That's crazy. Hey, what's up? I see you, Ian Atkins, Nature Aquariums. What's up? Good to see you, man. Speaking of nature aquariums, collecting fish and stuff, you're going to be stoked about some of these videos. First Class Fish, also good to see you. You guys, I will try to chime in and upload some photos too, because I have just a lot of incredible stuff from this trip already. And I know I've been MIA, and so I know my analytics and everything are tanked. Like, Geek Boy, what's up? I'm not at all trying to beg here, but literally just to tell you, like in December, for instance, November, December, the YouTube advertising and all my super chats, advertising, and memberships were around $2,000. This month's estimate is $900. So that's like how much stuff has, both because of summer and just because whatever. Maybe I've just been terrible lately. But I think it's because I missed a few things, especially when my cat passed away. But now I'm traveling, and we're getting lots of good content under the belt. We're meeting lots of cool people. And then like, I mean, things like meeting Grant, like we could work together potentially in the future on, you know, an Aquascape event that we're both going to be at or something like, so.
Yeah, I didn't know that we were going to literally see each other again in 16 days.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's kind
I
of.
probably would have just like, I'll have you at the club next year.
Yeah.
God, but no,
Yeah.
I'm happy to get you in town. Even though it was supposed to be for Dr. Anthony Mazeral.
Yeah,
I'm
whatever.
happy he's coming in December, so that way, you know, when the professional Peru guy comes down and comes collecting, I can find a couple spots and learn a couple things with you. So no, I don't. He didn't mention anything about the Pavlova and the whole scripture of stuff that he wanted. So he's probably slipped his mind, but that's only because he hasn't had it.
He's always trying to like undercut me, that Dr. Anthony. I'm so nice to him and his wife, and he's so mean to me. No, I'm trying to go down and visit him, and so it's been really great going out with Grant because I know this sounds wimpy, but I'm from Washington. I can go outside in shorts. I can go outside in my boxers with no shirt on and hang out in the rain in 40 degrees. That's cool. Like, that's fine by me. I'm used to it. But this whole like 86 with 100% humidity and a UV index of 9 or whatever, it kills me. I look like I'm dying. Like, I was really embarrassed because with your kids, I was sweating so much, and I was like, they're gonna think I'm Chris Farley or, you know, like what's his name, Robin Williams. Like that dude, if you've seen him on doing stand-up, he has water bottles and his shirt is just drenched within like 10 minutes, and then he just drinks the water bottles, and I swear he must just pour them on himself too. Well, he did. Rest in peace or whatever. Robin Williams. Gizmo. Gizmo, $4 super sticker. Thank you very much. I wasn't sure if the super sticker, if like any of that was working through StreamYard. Sometimes I have no idea. But thank you very much for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Fish Tropic Canada, good to see you as well. Always a pleasure. So does anybody have any questions for Grant about shrimp or about Florida and about the misery of Florida? Wow, did you see how it jumped?
Yeah.
Steven.
All those people send at the same time.
Yeah.
All of them at 11:40.
Nate, Shrimpnut, will either one of you shoot any vid at your club meeting with Alex speaking? No, it's over.
Yeah.
They failed.
No, our club doesn't do any of that online like stuff or anything like that. It's come to the meeting or you miss out.
Yeah,
you know what I
and
mean?
a lot of speakers won't let you do that. Like the older school ones,
because they want to be able to be brought into other clubs and stuff like that. But for me, I don't have a talk about this one trip that I did to, you know what I mean, this one lake in Africa. Our talk is literally shrimp, and it's ever evolving every single time.
Right.
You're going to get updated photos. You're going to get updated jokes. You're going to get updated pictures of the house. And like, I even feel bad at the last talk that I just did. Like, none of the gravel was even put down for the ponds outside. And I've done so much, but like right now it's so chaotic taking an updated photo. I just don't feel like doing it. I can't wait till I have time and it's cool enough.
Yeah.
I'm taking out all the barrels, all of the larger 500-gallon tub, and I'm just going half-cut IBC totes.
Dang.
All so I can fit an extra 5
So you can
IBC
build a
totes
rack
in there.
of those? I know you're going to do it.
but
You're going to, in a year, you're going to do it. I know you.
I feel like in case of like a zombie apocalypse, I could just stack IBC totes on top of each other.
You have
and
enough
raise
shrimp
and then we'd never have to leave.
Already, you have enough shrimp that you could live off them eating them.
Yeah.
Being that size, you have enough that you could eat them every day. Oh, and goodness gracious, we have a grand slam of a super chat. Holy cow, it's the Alexander Engelhart. Thank you so much, man. When you slam those down, you kick in the door, and you get my attention. How can I service you in any way you need? I hope you're doing well, man. It's good to see you also. Angle-hearted. It's now become a verb, huh? I appreciate that, you guys. I like that we're all getting in on the naming fun here. But definitely with that, I will be probably spending money on because the other thing I spent money on recently was, I got just a cheap net here, but I got some nice nets. I also got some fly fishing gear. So the videos of me going out this summer, I think that's kind of killed the channel rating a little bit. I've done a lot less of the top 5, like 5 red fish that are red. Did I mention they're red? And I've tried to tell stories and tell like a little bit longer things, which isn't always exciting, and it's not clickbaity. And honestly, we've talked about that. I talk about that with every fellow YouTuber, that now everything needs to be so like, whoa, how's it going? I'm gonna put a piranha in with a chihuahua, and like it's just like, if you want to do something educational and like like you can't afford to be doing spectacles all the time, and it's not realistic to have that energy either, unless there's like mania, like some serious mania beyond what like most fish people already have.
Take
some
a cold
sort of
shower before every stream, video.
Just stream from the cold shower, like how's it going? So let's see here. We have a question for you, Grant, which is how do you keep the shrimplet safe in the IBC totes? I think when you guys see the video, you'll learn a lot, or you'll get a lot more.
So this is all the footage or proof that we have that Alex came
Whoa,
taught me.
I don't know what's happening, but it's
the
really
glare
weird.
off of the phone.
Oh, it's so weird.
See, yeah.
It's Inception.
It happened the other day and we couldn't figure it out. I figured it out as soon as it happened right there. The shrimp in the IBC tote are really only at risk for the dragonfly larvae. So when the dragonflies come by and they, lay eggs on top of the water, the eggs are going to hatch, and then the nymphs can just devour a herd of shrimp in no time. So we do have nets covering all of the ponds. We've got shade cloth that goes over the entire run of IBC totes. And then all of the ones inside the greenhouse are of course covered by the plastic. And then the front door is kind of like severely damaged. It's one of the things I wanted to fix. But I don't think like the dragonflies are like low flyers. So I haven't seen any dragonflies in the greenhouse.
They kind of don't like being claustrophobic either. Like they don't like going into a confined space, because I think their wings just move so crazy.
And you also don't have to worry about them like flat closing their wings and then crawling into a small hole. Its wingspan is what it has to get into that space. Yeah. So you really don't have to be too picky on closing it up. And then the frogs are,
you got frogs everywhere
as being part of the. I'm training the squirrels. You can kind of see that going on. So the squirrels are fighting off the frogs.
Yeah, he's got a war of like lizards, frogs, squirrels.
You saw the ear damage?
Yeah,
that's actually from one of those Cuban frogs. That's crazy.
What? You're making? I was like, wait. I can believe lizards. Frogs don't have teeth, although bullfrogs eat like baby bunnies. I've seen video of it. I was like, there's a video, you guys, I know some of you have seen it. Everyone else is going to say I'm a liar, of a deer eating a baby bunny, like a white-tailed deer eating a baby bunny.
Listen, one of my favorite videos to send Shelby was the baby goat, or the goat eating the baby chicks. She loves goats. So weird. She thinks like they're the nicest, coolest things, and they're so innocent. It's just snacking on them like chicken nuggets.
The rain lately in Florida makes me nervous, says Gizmo. Yeah, it's been raining a lot, like nonstop. Now, as for Sulawesi shrimp that Grant has, we kind of mentioned that on the other stream. He does have a few kinds.
I got my own ugly Malala shrimp, not cool blue ones like Alex has. Those are available, but like
I'll get him those soon enough. You won't eat, like, you're gonna put those, like, if you put those in you'd have 1,000 if you put them in like a big 40 breeder or something. Right. You'd never need to do anything with them again.
I just use a little tenor, but
they don't even need, like, they don't need to be mineralized. Like, it's insane. I've had people say that they live in RO water. I've had people have them survive in 800 TDS. Right. Like, It could be too that the line I have is literally from Takashi Amano,
Yeah.
and Steve Waldron got them from him like 17 years ago or something crazy when he went to Japan to learn in like 2000 whatever that would be 6 or something, to learn aquascaping technique from him and like take wasn't like a full apprenticeship, but he took pictures of all his stuff
Right.
and like asked him questions and kind of studied it. Alexander says, isn't a Chihuahua a land piranha? Yeah, basically. I mean, death by 1,000 cuts of nipping at your ankles. Yeah.
We got one across the street.
You got
Grant's ankles. I love it.
apparently Grant's ankles are delicious to Chihuahuas. Okay, what was the
The
other?
lady across the street's like, "Oh, pick it up, then it knows you and it will love you." And then I pick it up and I put it down, and then the next time I go to like, "Hey, how's it going?" It's like, "Ah!" Then ran away from me. I was like, "Oh man."
I was saying earlier too that we could literally go outside right now for 5 minutes and we could do show and tell for an hour on what wild creatures we captured. There's 2 kinds of frogs on his front garage door right now. There's a green anole, the native caroliniensis anole. There's the brown ones. There's the Cuban ones. I mean,
I could get you a snake probably.
I could get you a toe.
Because they love the bushes that we have along the side of the house. So if I just took the light and went through, I could probably find a nice black racer, and then I could flip over enough rocks. Actually, the only cool thing that we have in Hernando County that is different than anything else in the world is our ringnecks have a different color.
Oh,
So
huh.
I think everywhere in the world they're blue ringneck snakes, and
Yeah.
ours are orange.
Oh, that's a big color difference.
Yeah.
Although in certain species, the blue orange thing is like that. It's interesting. Brookley, what's up? I'm going to sleep. I just wanted to jump in and give you a thumbs up and say hello to my fish fam. Well, hello to you, Brookley. Thank you for jumping in, saying hello. I hope you have very, very sour, sweet, and tangy dreams. Let's see here. ABC Aquatic Biotope Creations. What's up, man? How's it going? It's good to see you. I hope you're doing well.
Oh, we should bring a tank out with us and have a biotope contest.
Like a Abrams tank, or what kind of?
I could just bring like one of the little 2 of those
Oh,
small tanks and we go out.
I'm
and
thinking
fly.
of a battle, so I think tank in my mind, like we're joking about military tanks. I don't know where my brain is. It's late. So the ringnecks here in Alabama are yellow. Weird, huh? You know what? What was really
And
awkward?
it's just our county. Wherever you were, they'll all
Yeah.
be blue.
And the other thing that's interesting is that when the other thing that's interesting, that was a jerky way to say that. When I gave my talk, I got prices on angelfish at the turn of the century, not adjusted for inflation. Someone paid $1,200 for a pair, and it's in Albert Clay's book that is amazing called Toy Fish. He documents it all really well. So then I go to the audience and I go, oh, there's some of you who probably remember buying angelfish in 1968. And I was like, and anybody in here? And the guy raises his hand. I'm like, yeah, how much were they? And he's like, $70, after I just said that they'd come down to $2.
No, he said 80.
And I went online and I was like, what is he talking about? Like, no. I mean, maybe a new morph or something. But yeah, the most fish lists were like $4 to $6. Because back then, that's like
Also,
equivalent
we
of
don't
80.
know where he lived at that
No,
time.
yeah, I know. I was
So-
like, but I was just like, oh, way to kill my credibility. As this
Yeah.
guy's like, you're off by 40,000% or whatever. Carolyn, hello, how are you? I hope you're doing well. I wonder how many folks were got announcements about this stream. First Class Fish says, got some red cherry shrimp, my first shrimp. Someone gave them me, hoping for babies. These seem pretty nice grade, so I'm kind of looking forward to learning how to improve the line. Females have red legs. Oh yeah, if they've got red legs, red antennas, that's really good sign for neos.
Yeah.
Usually, right?
Yeah, not a lot of them will have that. Most people just work on like solid color of the body.
Yeah.
And then, if you have leg color, that's a bonus. It is something we look at when judging for the international contest.
Is like shoulder width also, or like sturdiness size wise? Isn't that one of the criteria
So
too?
length. You want as long,
Long,
as big as
okay.
you possibly can. So,
Doesn't everybody?
Yeah.
Shelby, do you have an opinion? Are you just gonna glare from the corner? Are you just water changing that fish still?
Yeah.
Drip acclimate? Yeah. Shelby is doing some emergency surgery on her Turkish killifish, which will be in the tour. Michael Preston, what's up? Is that an IROC? Or no, is it a Camaro? What is it? An Eclipse? I don't know what it is, but it reminds me of my youth for some reason. Let's see here. I got the notification. I was on a panel with Biz, Funk, and Skipper. But you were on a panel. Okay, I thought like you got it while you were on the panel, and we're just like, oh, that's nice. But well, that's cool. So that's where a lot of people probably are, is hanging out with them, or were, and then they were like, Alex isn't that cool. But I was hoping Grant and Shelby would be that cool. But Shelby's hiding, so I mean, she's still up and like with us. She's just hiding. I mean, we can kind of. All right, never mind. So, Grant, what would you say if people are going to start caradinas now that like a lot's changed in the last 10 years? I would have always said that crystals probably like would be a choice, or maybe that's probably what I would have said, like after neocaradinas. What do you think now is like a good?
So you've got quite a few options, and it depends on your water parameters.
Mm-hmm.
So are you going to dive into the aqua soil and RO water? Are we going that route, caradina? Or are we talking like first caradina, like everybody can keep? Because now we have come a long ways where you can keep caradina and neos together in the same water. So like that.
I guess
that
I'd say that
really
first
well.
too.
Then hands down tangerine tigers, because I mean, I know Matt, he killed them liquid zoo, but I mean, I always say those things are bulletproof, and if you can keep fish alive or neos alive and stuff like that, and you can keep the temperatures down.
That was my problem. Mine were fine that you sent me, and then that heat wave got to 90 degrees, and my little AC unit, which again, Alexander Engelhart, thank you, your money bought that, so it does help most of my tanks, but some of the tanks in the window, just when that was like 105, it wasn't enough. I need to put a second AC in that room, or just, maybe climate change could chill out, because we set a record by 12 degrees last year in the summer. But anyways, yeah, those were super sturdy. Your cheetahs.
The cheetahs, the raccoons,
Yeah.
Stardust, orange-eyed blue tigers, red tigers, super tigers. There's quite a few of them out there right now that can take the neocaradina parameters as well.
Wow, that's such a huge change from
even yellow King Kongs. There's so much tangerine tiger DNA involved, and you haven't seen the bedroom yet. But I do have a tank with green emeralds that have the golden backline going down the back, which is rare for emeralds. Aquatic isopods. Yellow King Kongs, Malaysian trumpet snails, all breeding in one tank together. And all in neocaradina parameters with the Siru stone. So it's definitely off parameters. And the Yellow King Kongs are fine.
Yeah. Someone else was vouching for King Kongs. So, I mean, yeah, it's wild. Like, because when I was doing it, I remember tangerine tigers, like wilder looking ones that weren't that dialed in. I remember those being some of the earlier, and blue tangerine tigers being another more, like maybe 15 years ago, but they were like real niche, like along with crystals, and then that was kind of it. And then I remember the blue bolts came out, but I feel like the Pintos, the Galaxies, the King Kongs, all that is kind of the second or third wave, maybe even. And then now you got
the second wave for me would definitely be the Taiwan bees, which are the blue bolts, the red King Kongs, black King Kongs, and stuff like that. And then the third wave is the Pintos. If you
Fish
wanna-
bones
if
and
you want-
galaxies and stuff.
But like you can break them up because you have the German pintos, which are used with Caradina Maria pintos, which are the orange-eyed blue tigers, black tigers, red tigers, super tigers that they use to create
Oh.
the German pintos. So
Okay.
you got the German spot, the German belly, and the zebra pinto. But then Asia, they were trying to catch up to the Germans and use different tigers. So they use the Serrata, the blue Aurora Blues, and the Tangerine Tigers. And that's where you get the Nanashi or the fancy.
So I don't know the Nanashi. What does Nanashi
So
mean?
Nanashi, Nancy, and Galaxy Tiger are all the exact same shrimp. There is a wild type Galaxy Tiger that I don't know why they copy and use the same exact names for their different shrimp in the shrimp hobby. It's done like with blue jellies, dragons, bloods. There's a couple of them that overlap, and it makes no sense at all. But it ended up happening with those shrimp.
They need to change the name from a color. It doesn't make any sense to say like this is a red blah 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 and then it's like a blue shrimp. You know, like I get that that's like the genetic history,
Yeah.
but I feel like the word should be like instead of blue it should be ninja or what, you know, just make something up that's the common denominator and then have like and then indicate the morph by what is shown, like a two-part name. I don't know. Like, because it's getting really confusing now. Like you said, if there's a German way of breeding it, and within Asia now, the genetic testing has been showing too that like the way Japan versus Hong Kong versus mainland China, like the way their like different mass breeding operations all approach things.
Yeah.
Some of them bought them secretly from, you know, more advanced keepers. Some of them, like, you know, but there are a few people that were, quote unquote, like grinding it out. They had a warehouse of 1,000 shrimp tanks, you know, of the crystals to get some of those first morphs, like
I
like
think
Disco Bee and, well, you know, like who are some of the first big ones? There's.
So the Disco Bee didn't really sell any shrimp, but like when I first got into the hobby, not by Pet Shrimp. Eric has always been in it. Eric Lucas from Pet
Yeah.
Shrimp, so he's one of them for sure.
No, I
but
mean
there's-
over in Asia, like I'm trying to think of like Vin and
Skyfish.
Skyfish,
is like one
yeah.
of the biggest ones.
yeah.
And then man, I can't remember his name anymore, but he was huge,
And then there's,
and
like,
then just sold off like all of his farm.
And there's like Monica Poehler who did like the
Yeah.
Dancing Man stuff.
She tried to jump on this bandwagon that Caradina and Neo's crossed over, and there's never any like
Yeah.
good proof or
Well,
anything.
and that's like the Palmata thing. Like people are saying Caradina palmata versus Neo Caradina palmata, which is, as far as we know, correct. So there's been a lot of weird things like that have been very divisive, and now we have the technology to find out. So it's like we need to get our stuff straight now. Like, you know.
Yeah, but the problem is like the Asian breeders, they all have their own standards.
Yeah.
It's different than the German breeders.
Yeah.
And then because we're over here in the United States, we kind of get both worlds mixed in, and we gotta walk like a fine
Right.
line to make both standards happy. So like to me, like the tie bees on them not being solid or double pigment and stuff like that,
Yeah.
anything considered that is a Thai bee crossed with a Taiwan bee is a Thai bee. But like for me, the whole point of crossing them back with the Taiwan bee is to get that double pigment.
Yeah.
And there's no real way to tell between the Thai bees and the Thai bees from that cross sometimes.
Right.
So I think it should be set in stone. If it's not double pigment, it's still a Thai bee, because you can still make a Thai bee with Taiwan bee genes. So all the genes are technically there in both shrimp, but like we should be talking phenotypes a little bit more.
Yeah.
We should be talking phenotypes with genotypes on other shrimps as well. And when you mention like the certain shrimp kind of getting all out of funk and whack, well, certain breeders overseas, what they ended up doing was they jump on the next bandwagon, right?
Yeah.
And when you're running out thousands of Black King Kongs and they're not selling, and the next big thing is Pintos, well, what they did is they took all the female Black King Kongs that they could, cross them with the Pintos, hoping on making more Pintos. But then when the Black King Kong females have some black King Kong looking babies, they'll just sell those to the buyers that don't know any better or don't care about
And
the
the
genetics,
genes are all hidden.
and
Yeah.
then that sadly is sold over to the United States because they're the cheaper option. So it's so hard to get your hands on pure lines. And every time somebody's like, oh,
Yeah.
what should I do with this? Should I cross it with this or do this with that? And I'm like, I mean, there's so many people out there that have ruined lines. Like, I would honestly create one tank, keep it pure, and then use those to cross. So
Yeah, no, I think that's, I mean, and that's the advantage of buying from somebody who's done it for a decade or more, is like they've seen the changes. Whereas a transshipper may jump in, and honestly, you need to know, like, quiz them, like, do a little bit of research, find out a few hard questions about something they keep, and ask them about it, you know, like genetically, if you guys are wanting to build lines of your own. Now, what I think is cool, though, is that all these, like, because so many people have kept all these, and probably because of the weird genetics, because usually hybridization, it either leads to a inferior animal that dies quickly, or the hybrid vigor, which makes a stronger like animal. And so it can go either way, but the ones that are stronger now in the hobby, like now we're seeing some variants of things that are pretty hardy.
So, like, the biggest example is like bee shrimp. They
Yeah.
need such low pH and zero cage in
Right.
order to thrive. But when you can cross a bee shrimp with a tiger shrimp that can take a much wider variety of parameters,
Yeah.
the Thai bees, which is a cross between a bee and a tiger, the babies do a lot more better than the Taiwan bees that need absolute perfect parameters in order for the baby survival rate to be high or any at all.
And I think a lot of people in the hobby that I've seen, they've said, what's wrong? Like, why can't I keep shrimp? What's going on? And I look at their setup, I look at their stuff. Honestly, very frequently, it's just that their nitrates climbed up. Shrimp don't like nitrates.
It burns the gills and
yeah.
it makes it hard for them to breathe. The other thing is like source. Source really matters.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy them from me. There's probably plenty of breeders around locally. The biggest issue with people having problems right off the rip is the shrimp that they got have simply gone through so much
too much
stress.
trauma.
Like, imagine getting Alex, you know, after he's gone through the next 5 shows and you've caught him at the end.
Yeah,
of the week
I'm going to be
on his
terrible.
6th show. I mean, same with us. We've got this weekend, last weekend, talks all the way through for the next 7 weeks. Our fish club meetings or fish shows for us in Shelby. So I'm sure after 8 weeks, I'm going to be brutally exhausted.
Yeah.
It's going to be, you know.
We're going to need to hibernate for the holidays.
So the shrimp are doing the same thing. They're going from a farm overseas in Asia to another, you know, wholesaler, distributor.
They're probably going to,
like that. Then shipped overseas to us, and they're doing the same thing, going to 1 or 2. You might be the 5th stop, 6th stop, maybe even more before that shrimp even has a chance at a permanent home.
And I mean, you'd think that would lead to us having the toughest shrimp just from selection, you know, survival of the fittest, which actually it has to some degree. Right. I mean, to some degree. We do have the ones that survive the trip, but I mean,
that job's already been done. There's no
exactly.
Keep
you're just killing them.
And the thing is with shrimp and most creatures, the first thing that goes down is the reproductive system. That takes the most stress, the most, you know what I mean? So, if the shrimp doesn't think like it should spend any nutrients on breeding, it won't. And that can clog up the whole, you know.
For sure. Hey, Vibes Aquatic. Debbie, what's going on? It's great to see you. Like I was saying, sorry I haven't been doing all the live streams lately. Jess, so good to see you, my friend, my dear. Also, Fishery will be coming back. Honestly, Fishery, other than really dry articles that have been like genetic charts of like the actual gene printouts, which it's just, there's no interesting way to present that to most folks. 1 or 2 people, or maybe like 1 or 2 out of every 1,000 who watch would be interested in it. So I don't want to cover, I'm not going to spend my time and resources, which are limited lately, on covering that and spending time on that. I'd much rather come here and do this and all that. But you know, the other story that's just everywhere is either too much water or not enough water everywhere in the world right now. Like There's either a drought or a flood, and fish are just dying all over. It's just that would be fishery 100 different stories in a row, and I don't want to do that. It's boring. I mean, it's important, but it's been talked about. Kai, hello. So shrimp care is so foreign to me, but I am intrigued by them. Currently preparing a goldfish tank, but I'm considering a shrimp tank in the future. Those are two way different things, but I applaud you. I think they're both cool. People think goldfish are an easy fish, and they're not. They're actually a pretty tricky fish. They have kind of a toxic slime on them just naturally, like not necessarily like a venom or anything, but it's just pretty acrid, and they make a lot of ammonia. They eat a lot, and they don't want to be in fully tropical water other than a few really fancy varieties. And they need aeration and oxygen. And yes, it's true that a comet or some of the older heirloom goldfish can be literally frozen and survive up to 90 degrees. That's not the case with like hardly any of the fancy ones. And then a lot of them are just simply inbred, which people don't necessarily think about. Like the pearl scales their organs are just a mess. It's really sad, honestly. But yeah, I mean, I think shrimp are great because even if you're not ready to invest in a whole huge setup, you can put a 2.5 gallon tank and toss 5 in and see how it goes. Plant it, get a little filter. I would tend to go for like a 20 or a 10, ideally.
10 is perfect. If you can catch a 10 gallon on the $1 per gallon sale.
Yeah.
I think it's going on right now at Pet Supplies Plus.
Okay, so that's only some parts of the U.S. But
they don't usually stock enough 10 gallons for somebody like me. But somebody that just wants 1 or 2 can go in.
Says the man with a garage full of tanks and 350 others. All right, so why aren't the cardinals hugely popular? I thought when they first came out, they'd be huge. Too hard to breed? From what I've seen, they don't seem all that difficult.
So the demand for them is very high.
Yeah.
And my problem is every time I post them up for sale, I never know exactly how many I have. And then Chris Biggs really did me in when he came in. It was like during peak season. I had already sold a bunch of them, and then he did a video, and then like I had 15 people like begging me for Sulawesi, and I got to the point where I was like, yeah, but they're $25 a piece, and people were like, all right, I'll take it. And I was like, okay, I got you. And then I was like, I only got like 10 left. So there is literally only 10 left in that one tank. That's why I was like, no bother trying to get them. And for whatever reason, they didn't like the move from the 55-gallon tank into a smaller 10-gallon tank. The black Galaxy Sulawesi, the blue-legged Posos, the white orchids, those are all breeding, but I got them from a different source.
And you guys will get to see those on our tour and on some of the videos we're going to have coming out in the future. If not, you can obviously also see these things on Grant's channel.
But I got them as juveniles, so they did a lot better than the adult.
That's really true. Yeah.
But we have that colony going for almost like 7 years now. So we had it. We got it from somebody else. Had to sold them back. The demand for them is really high when you get people that know what they are and they want the tanks.
AQUATIC.
The problem is keeping the tank stable and colony going for so long.
Yeah.
So many people have them going for 2-3 years, and then the tank crashes for no reason at all.
Yeah.
But
that's
think
my story.
So much debris builds up underneath the substrate. I think it's worth redoing their tanks every 2 years with fresh crushed coral.
Yeah, that's the story though with shrimp in general. Is like they're doing great, and people just kind of put it on autopilot, and then something goes wrong and it crashes. I could also see it being like, honestly, the other problem. So that's one problem is things go fine, you got it dialed in, and you don't know why, but everything just dies. It could just be ammonia of 1 or 2 getting sick, or the temperature, or whatever, or the substrate getting old or depleted. But the other thing, the even bigger thing, is people fidget with their tank. They're always wanting to like do things, add more food, do this, do that. And really, like, if you have a glass feeding dish so you can get the excess food out of there afterwards, that helps a lot if you're new to.
Have you tried those though?
Yeah, they're a pain.
I always have one jerk of a shrimp.
Oh, that
that'll
steals
take-
the chunk.
and,
Yeah.
and he is Hulk
Yeah.
strength, and
Yeah.
it doesn't matter how high the walls are or how big the piece of food is.
I know.
He'll take 3 algae wafers, stack them on his back like they're freaking
I know.
45-pound plates, and just haul over the. I'll be back.
Yeah.
The next time you feed, you know what I mean?
Shrimp are little jerks that way. Amanos are the worst I've ever seen that way.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't even consider Amanos like.
They're not shrimp, they're
Like more
monsters.
freshwater
Yeah,
shrimp, you know
no.
what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
for sure. Let's see
They're
here.
not even in the house. Did you realize that?
You know, I guess if you'd asked me, I probably would have noticed that, but I didn't
130
think about
varieties, no vampire, no bamboo, no ghost, no amano, no fake amano, no
Yeah.
red nose.
Well, no lower order shrimp.
Nothing wild caught.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, we do. The lower order are the opaula. Because of you,
Oh.
I know what they are. But
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So you can't say no.
Yeah, that's true. But they're so specialized. They live in like tide pools on a rock
That's-
in Hawaii. But okay. All right. Fine. He does have yellow volcano shrimp though, which I filmed, so you guys will see that too. But you'll have to watch the tour of his place. It's full of crazy stuff I've never seen before. Let's see here.
Yeah, there's no bamboo shrimp either. They're like a fan shrimp, and they've got the hands. They live in high flow. They filter feed, and then
A lot of people kill them.
I've actually got a video on our TikTok, or Shelby does.
Yeah.
We went to Ruben at Shrimp Pimpin's house in Texas. He's got like a 180-gallon discus tank with a bunch of bamboo shrimp and cories, and the bamboo shrimp just sit at the top,
Yeah.
right at the outflow of the
Yeah.
filters.
So they almost need to be with fish. Those ones, like they
They
need
have to have
articulate.
A dirtier,
Yeah.
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 If you're feeding just shrimp pellet food, they're not going to do well at all.
Yep. Yeah. I totally
It's like
agree.
the same with micro crabs. They need high flow,
Oh.
really dirty tanks.
Pom poms too.
Yeah.
You know, those ones I feel like a lot of people are giving up on. Now, I do have to say, Aquatic Arts does have they are breeding in house some cardinals that they got a hold of.
Do
And
you want to go catch some like what I think are like native micro crabs tomorrow? I've got a spot on the preserves. It is a little bit more of a walk though.
maybe I don't know what I'm doing
Shelby's bike
tomorrow.
If you want to ride. Yeah, I know.
Can I
Just
ride
saying.
like ET with the
Yeah,
bike?
you can ride my bike. I'll ride Shelby's bike.
Okay. And then what else was I gonna say? Oh, at that and like I want to go to that river spot you mentioned. Like that sounds cool.
With the kayaks?
Yeah.
because that's on your little list.
Yeah, it's
to
on my.
collect on. And
Yeah.
like I legit just want to take my net and go through and shuffle to show you some of the cooler
Yeah.
fish on the river
So-
because like legit I can't like not catch the hognose choker or the
I've never seen them because
And
they're
the-
not in our
the
state.
tomcats are little catfish. They don't get much
Yeah,
bigger
those are
than the-
cool.
and they like sting you with the barbs. So
That's like
They're fun to
or the
go
mad
through
the
the nets.
mad toms.
yeah, the
Yeah,
Mexicans.
yeah,
What did I say?
tomcats, and
I'm so
which
sorry.
I'm like maybe that's a thing.
Mad
You
toms.
have so many fish down here, and there's so many names for like. I asked a local guy, so there were blue tilapia. I was at a CVS today, about an hour south of here, and I'm watching these big fish just in a creek, and it's like crystal clear. And I was like, "Are those like Nile tilapia?" Later, I ended up sorting it out. They were blue tilapia. But regardless, I asked this guy like, "What are those?" And he's like, "Bait fish." And I was like, okay, thanks. So then I asked another guy, and he seemed to know what he was talking about, but he's like, that's a snook, that's a shad, that's a mullet. And that was his answer for everything. Like every fish was one of those three. So it's kind of funny, like when you go to different parts of the country, people just tell you different things. Like in Washington, there's no pumpkin seed fish. There's no green sunfish. It's all, that's a bluegill. That's a crappie. They say crappie up there more often than not, but we did get a black and a white crappie though, and I got some good pictures. So I'm definitely going to post those to the NANFA, the North American Native Fish Association site on the Facebook is just where it's most active. I wish YouTube would let me put up a gallery with more than 5 pictures. That's so annoying. But I will post in there as well. And maybe for members, I can come up with some sort of photo bucket or, you know, like some service like that where it'll let me host them openly like that. All right, guys. So do we have any? Oh, hey, Asya, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Do we have any? It's crazy when you throw down $100 like Alexander did. It's still up there, like burning in the memory at the top. It's like a scarlet letter. Forever we will be branded as now owned by.
Right.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's just crazy. But I remember the $4 one, and I appreciate it. I remember all you who just show up and watch. All of it means a ton to me. It's all about the heart and not about the coin. But I do like coin. So, do we have any more questions while I got Grant here while we're hanging out? I actually do need to wind it down because him and I stay up. It's already midnight here, and I got to call my wife, who I haven't really talked to in several days, and also my family, who they're supposed to be taking care of my fish. This will be a story for another time. Well, I'm gonna find out how bad it went tonight. But
He should have this much fish food. He's got a lot less.
Yeah. So we'll see what happened. Yeah. Anyhow, but I want to thank Shelby and Grant for having me over. Shelby, I see you in the chat. I know you're still here. I know you're a creepy lurker in the corner, whether you're in the room or in the bedroom. That didn't come out right, did it? She's hiding in the bedroom now. Before she was just staring at us. I need my booty like a pirate. Yes, that's right. Fish Tropic. Down here, I feel like, I mean, there's so much history too. Like, if I lived down here, I would do a history channel and a nature walk channel combined. I would go on nature walks and we'd talk about the history of the area and just look at whatever we see.
There's some great like parks and stuff like that do hold significance to certain, you know, history.
Yeah, like DeSoto Fort and stuff. I mean, you got Spanish, French, British, Confederacy, the Seminoles. Like, there's been like 7 or 8 different countries or governments that have claimed it as like their territory at one time or another. But will y'all sing us a duet before ending your stream? Definitely not. You're just a state away, K Ferox. Right on. Nano Aquarium guy. Always good to see you. And your scapes, I always really do enjoy. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. Hopefully from here out, I'll be back on schedule. Yeah, I'll be back in Seattle. And I'll be able to get back to answering comments because I've gotten behind and I haven't even answered the emails of people who are at the talk. I was supposed to go up to Lucas Brett's house, and y'all know I got love for Lucas, yet I just don't have the time to go 2 hours north and then do a whole day of filming and, like, you know, whatever he has to do and work around that too. But I did get to see Lucas, so I'm stoked that, you know, that it's, I guess, someone down in Tampa or up in Tallahassee, if they have a club, we'll just have to invite Grant and I to come down there, and we can come party for another week next time that happens. But, you know, thank you guys so much. Super chatters, moderators. You want your rap? Well, Craig, make a suggestion that gives me the urge to rap. I mean, if I had one wish, some freshwater fish that are kind of native-ish, even the invasives, they're all kind of complacent if you put them in a tank where they're on crack freebasing. Okay, there, I just demonetized the stream. I just derailed the entire stream. I don't do freestyles at 12:30 a.m. Actually, I do. That's probably the best time to catch me, is when my brain's just totally loopy. But it's only 9:30 in my brain, which has been a problem because then I stay up till 4 a.m. And if there's lightning, I'm like, ooh, lightning, shiny things. Between lizards, frogs, and lightning, I'm just like a puppy that hasn't been trained to stop like pulling on the leash, because down here everything is alive and just so beautiful and novel compared to the Northwest.
Definitely lucky I was able to grow up here.
Yeah,
I feel bad for you guys that don't have lizards running around your house.
I know, the geckos, man, the geckos. So yeah, I'll have videos coming out about some of that stuff too. Shelby needs to join the rap. Yeah, she needs to be a ninja.
You don't know her rap name?
I forgot it. I do know she has one.
Saran wrap.
Saran, right? Saran wrap. She keeps it fresh. Yeah, that's better.
Shout out your code real quick?
Oh yeah, let's do that. Yeah, if you guys want to start keeping shrimp.
So Alex's code, which helps support Alex, because we keep a tally of all the code purchases, and every time it hits a certain number, I'm like, hey man, what kind of shrimp do you want? And it gets him a free box of shrimp content for the channel.
Yeah, and then I'll cover whatever they are, obviously. So you'll see the video of like when we did the cheetahs, the raccoons, all the stuff that's been on my channel. It's thanks to him and you guys for using that code.
And I gotta feed the shrimp and show you all the shrimp in the house and be like, all right, man, what shrimp do you want? Because I don't even think you saw the Hummel shrimp or got to like really appreciate those yet. So
no.
The code for the website is secret10. That gets you 10% off our website as tgoeshrimp.com. And again, all the purchases used with that code goes to helping out Alex get more shrimp for his channel. And I mean, you can also use it for plants and other things too. So.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, that's really cool. In that, and now that it's not summer anymore, I'm not so stressed about what they are. Like I might try some harder shrimp actually. But yeah, if there's a species you guys want to see me profile and go into deeply, now we've got everything here. So it would have been nice to hear about that before. No. But no, we are going to talk about a couple here, and we're going to talk about the genetics of like this was crossed with this, and now you get this, and then their babies look like this. So there will be some video like that we've recorded and that we're working on now for later out in the future. But yeah, the other thing is the tour of this place is going to be, it's a lot to edit. Like it's a lot of, we spent several days. And it's,
I think
if someone,
Secret 10, no spaces.
Yeah, Secret 10, no spaces.
Capital matters.
Yeah, it may not be case sensitive, but I think if anybody is a good editor and really wants to give it a go, email me or let me know if you want to help me with doing like an actual computer edited, rather than I usually use just basic like in suite, like whatever's on the operating system, like iMovie or whatever, and I don't add sound effects and memes and stuff like that. I just don't do videos that way. I try to just focus on the info, but I do want it to be of a good quality that you can see the things, learn the things. And infographics and stuff like that are stuff that I want to start incorporating more, just for the sake of different people learn different ways. And curiosity and learning is really what we're about. Alex's unboxing videos from you, Grant, is how I found you and Shelby. Right on. That's rad, Nate. Well, glad to hear it. Also, Craig, thank you very much. Just saw your super sticker from down under. Appreciate it. I hope you have an incredible evening. And to my mods in Zen Ginger and who else is in here that's modding right now? Anyways, you guys rock. Dee Dee, I might be right. I don't know if she's still here. Either way, great to see you. Everybody else, all you lurkers, all you talkers, all you replay crew, can't do it without you. You guys rock. Thank you so much. We'll be back soon. I'll be back soon, and I'll probably do another short tomorrow. Just kind of say what's up. Maybe say hi from the river if there's reception. It is beautiful out there. Probably not reception though. Maybe when I get back. Dee Dee is still here. She's a lurker, and I don't know if she is still a mod. Like I can't tell in StreamYard. StreamYard really needs to fix a couple of those things. I need to shut up and just end the show too. But thank you for having me over, and thank you to Shelby hiding in the room, watching from the bedroom, and thank you guys for all being here. I will see you guys later. And oh, Luke, what's up? Luke's gonna be at. I'm gonna be staying in a room with Luke Wang. Yeah, good to see you, man. Right at the end here, but it's good to see you pop in, buddy. I'll be seeing you
Luke
soon.
too?
Oh yeah, Luke's
I
rad.
just chilled with Luke at Triple Crown.
Yeah, he's rad. We're sharing a bedroom to save money at AGA. All right, let's see here.
See you at AGA.
Yeah. All right,
Very
guys,
nice.
we're getting out of here. Have a wonderful night, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.
See you guys later, Luke.